So this recipe is vegan burger steaks with mushroom gravy. It is basically my vegan take on Jollibee's burger steak, which I really loved growing up. It was one of my favorite Jollibee offerings. I loved it more than Chicken Joy. And this one is served with a lush mushroom gravy with some rice for a super hearty meal. It's like a childhood classic made vegan. And this is like cross section of the burger patty. So I used a mix of mushrooms and tofu. So we're gonna start with some dried shiitake mushrooms. I basically just soak this in some hot water. Meanwhile, we're gonna prepare the fresh oyster mushrooms. You can also use other mushrooms of your choice and just chop them up or finely, like you can quickly process them, but I just did it by hand until it was like a small minced pieces. And afterwards, we're gonna go and chop some onion as well. So I just finely diced a red onion. I used half an onion here. Just set this aside while we're gonna prepare the tofu or the tokwa. So I wrapped this in a thin towel or like a cheesecloth, and I squeezed out the liquid. So you're gonna just mash up the tofu inside also. There's no problem at all. So just squeeze out the excess liquid, and there you have the mashed tofu. Afterwards, we're gonna go back to the mushrooms. So set aside the liquid for the gravy. Don't discard the mushroom liquid. And we're just gonna chop up the mushrooms as well, same as the oyster mushrooms. And just place it all in a bowl and add in the rehydrated shiitake mushrooms. I love shiitake mushrooms because of the umami it brings. And just add in the tofu, the onion, some salt and pepper to taste. And afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and season this as well. I used some vegetarian oyster sauce. This adds a nice umami and also a bit of like sweetness. So just mix that well and make sure that it's evenly coated so that the tofu gets all the flavors as well. Just add some flour, breadcrumbs, and cornstarch. So these act as the binder for your patties. Just mix that up. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna test out the patties to see if they hold up well. So you can just like basically grab some with your hand, and if not, you can add more flour. If you think it's too wet, then go ahead, add 1 to 2 tablespoons more. Just mix that up until the mixture starts to hold up better. So we're gonna do the test here and get a generous amount, flatten on your palm. And if you think it's good, then the patties are ready to go. So this is the final mixture that I had, and I just got a generous amount, flattened on my palm, and there you have the patties. So you just repeat this for the rest of the mixture. In total, I made around 7 burger patties here. And we're gonna cook this down on a non-stick pan. I added some neutral oil. Leave that to heat up and then add some patties. I used a very small pan, so you can only fit 2 patties in mine. So we're gonna have to cook this in batches depending on how big or small your pan is. And I flipped that over because it was nice and golden brown. And just cook it down for a few minutes until you have that nice cooked patties. And there you have it. So these are the finished patties, and just a quick taste test while the rest are cooking up. This is like a nice cross section as well. So there is the finished burger steaks. And in the same pan, I melted some vegan butter. This is for the gravy. And just melt that down, and you can saute some sliced button mushrooms. I just thinly sliced the mushrooms. Afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and add in the gravy mix, which is homemade. The recipe is linked down below as well. And just leave that to simmer until it thickens from the flour. And just mix that up. And once it boils, it's gonna start to nicely thicken, and there you have a nice and lush mushroom gravy. So there is the finished gravy, and just go ahead, serve it with rice, pour the gravy, and enjoy. So the full recipe of this is linked down below or over on my website. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. And yeah, leave a comment or like this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.